Welcome to the CASH Level 3 Diploma for the Early Years Workforce. This video is a little bit different. We wanted to record this entire screen for you so that you could get to know a little bit and get oriented to what the page looks like. So within your page over here, you can see all of the folders. These are all the units, and we've designed them in a way that it's so easy for you to either click next over here or simply open the next folder and then jump to the section that you want to go through. Just be careful not to skip anything. Make sure that you, if you go through the unit, go through every single section in that unit. So this is the orientation section. So in this one you can notice that there is a slide, PowerPoint slides that you have to go through. If at any point you want to increase the size of this slide, you can definitely click on this icon over here so that it can take you to the full screen. But let's orient you a little bit, or welcome you to the course. So first of all, congratulations. This is a big step. You have committed yourself to really a rigorous course that's going to be exciting, that's going to be fun, that's going to be challenging, but achievable. So I want to congratulate you for starting this journey. Of course, you know that it is accredited by the UK's third largest awarding body. And did you know that CASH stands for Council for Awards in Care, Health and Education? And NCFE is another awarding body that have partnered with CASH, so that you'll notice both of these acronyms on your certificates. Do you know which level it is? So right now, this program is the Level 3 program, which is the best for those who are working as or who want to work as teachers in an early years setting. Depending on the country and the region where you are, there are different requirements for different job roles. So in the United Arab Emirates, for example, all early years teachers are required to have a level 3 or equivalent. And then this is called a qualification, right? So you will be getting a diploma, which is a qualification. But regardless of the qualification, or on top of the qualification, you still will be required to get CPD hours. So each country has different requirements. So CPD is the continuing professional development hours. So please be aware of the number of hours that you need on top of the qualification on an annual basis. There's also, and you'll notice that the level 3 diploma will be a minimum of 12 months. Few people have done it before, but we like to encourage you to take your time and don't try to achieve it in less than 12 months. You will be going through 23 units, and don't be worried about or shocked from this number, the 486 hours. This is the number of total hours over the year that they have estimated that you spend on your learning, on your reflecting, on your thinking, on your sinking in all this beautiful stuff that you're going to learn in this wonderful program. Also, you'll notice that the level 3 program consists of, it's both knowledge and skill based. And this is very important to understand very early in the program. That's why we wanted to explain it to you in the orientation. It means that there are some requirements within the program that we need to make sure that you've gained that knowledge, right? So you'll be required to complete certain tasks that prove that you've gained that knowledge. And usually those tasks start with the words describe, analyze, list, right? Explain, those kind of words. Those means that means that those tasks are related to knowledge-based skills. However, there are also requirements for gaining skills or competencies. These will be tasks that start with the words lead, implement, work with, right? So those tasks will be assessed differently. So you might have your instructor observe you doing certain activities, or they might ask you to complete a specific project. So there's different ways that we assess skill-based learning. And you'll get more used to that within the course. So just as a reminder, usually the level 3s and the 4s and the 5s are both the knowledge and skill-based. What kind of assessment will you have during this course? So there's different kinds of assessment. You might take part in some professional discussions. These might be pre-planned, in-depth discussions. And now this really depends on the learner. It depends on what the instructor or what your assessor thinks is most appropriate for you. So you might take part in something like this. You'll definitely have written work. Remember a minute ago we talked about the knowledge-based skills. So you'll have lots of written work that you'll have to submit to prove that you've gained that knowledge. So written work doesn't have to always be boring. You can instead of writing, in some areas you'll be able to upload posters or leaflets, charts and diagrams and things like that as well. You'll also be encouraged to create work products. So at some points we'll ask you to create activity plans, to create some charts, reports, maybe write an email to a parent or share a newsletter with a parent, and then take a picture of that communication or that email that you sent out to parents and upload as evidence as well. We want this program to kind of be a living, breathing testimony of how you are changing as a practitioner inside an early year setting. So please don't look at it as just some kind of homework that you're trying to get rid of. It's something that you are applying in your work, that you are applying with your kids, and that you're reflecting on, and you're bringing those reflections and observations back to the program. You will definitely be observed as well. So the assessor, every single learner will have an assessor. So you will, at some point, you will plan with your assessor when you can have the direct observation, and we'll provide you lots of preparation. We'll help you prepare, we'll help you get ready, what things you'll be doing during the observation. We'll talk all about that. How many the observations are, we'll talk all about that soon. And then it's very important that you read through our policies and procedures. I know that sometimes it can be tedious or boring, but they're important for you to really understand. And we also have a learner's agreement that you have to sign. We want to make sure that you've read certain things, you kind of understood what your responsibilities are, what our responsibilities are, and the more clarity that there is on that, the less confusion there is. We do recommend a book. It is not required, but here's a book that I recommend that you can purchase from one of these websites. It's not very expensive, and it's really a wonderful resource for you to have forever. So I really recommend that you get this to help you plan. And also, it's nicely organized, so every unit has the reading right there. And we're doing all of this work digitally, and you're taking this course digitally and by distance. So it's nice to have some of that paper-based option as a book that you can handle and that you can touch and feel as well. Although you could also purchase the digital book if you preferred that way as well. Of course, like I mentioned before, you will have your own assessor. Whether you signed up for this course to take on a self-paced or blended through blended learning, which is led through live sessions with the instructor. In either case, you will have an assessor that is responsible for reading every single one of your assignments. These people are qualified cash assessors. They usually, all of our assessors have a master's or above in early childhood or related. They are experts in their field. If you have been to our live webinars, you will be, you will enjoy discussing with them. If you're not with them in the live sessions, if you're taking this as a self-paced program, feel free to communicate with them through email. At the bottom of this page, you will be able to see, when you've signed up for this program, you will see the email of your instructor shown here at the bottom, so you can email them if you need to. And they are the ones who are responsible for grading and giving you constructive feedback to help you develop and to help you successfully achieve this program. I really want to mention how important the plagiarism policy is, because especially when we're doing these distance learning programs, sometimes it becomes really easy for us to go and copy and paste things. And because CASH is a quite popular program, you'll find a lot of students have done it and have uploaded their work on certain websites. Please note that we can, that we have sophisticated softwares to make sure that your work is authentic. Also, we don't care about the academic level. We want to make sure that this is your work. Write it in your own words. When you read a reading material, when you're working on a task, read it. Let it sink in. Take a moment, take a walk, reflect, and then write your answer using your own words. Please use your own words. Also, I want to bring your attention to the grading. So the assessment for all of the tasks is done this way. So the maximum grade that you can get for something is 4. So the highest grade, that 4 means you're done 100%. Now, the funny thing about the CASH programs is that, guess what? It's not like a 70% passing rate or 60%. It's 100% passing rate. That means for all your assignments, for every single question, you have to get a 4 out of 4. I'm so sorry about that. But you get to do it and redo it as many times as you want. So for example, if you do submit an assignment, and especially in the beginning, it's completely normal for you not to get the 4 because you're warming up. So in the beginning, you're getting used to how to submit these kinds of assignments. It's normal for your assessor or for your trainer to give you a 1 and a 2. They're going to give you some feedback on what you can improve, and then hopefully you get higher and higher until later on, after a couple of units, you know exactly what you're doing, and then you'll find yourself, wow, you're submitting your assignments and you're immediately almost always getting the 4 out of 4. Now, just a point, please don't test our assessors, so don't intentionally send them incomplete work, and then you don't want to use that privilege, abuse that privilege, right? You can redo your work as many times as you need to, but please stay within the limits. Try not to bombard your assessors too much, because there are a lot of assignments and you're going to spend a lot of time with your assessors over the year. They're going to get to know you, you're going to get to know them, and then you need to respect each other. You need to submit your work on a timely basis, and then you also need to respect the time and the commitment that they have given as well. Sometimes some assessors, they might only grade on certain days of the week. They might respond to your emails on the certain days of the week. So you can discuss with them that as well. Also, I just noted that you will have the emails of the assessors, of your trainers, at the bottom of the screen over here, and there's also a forum and a comment section at the bottom of the screen where you can post some questions or some general comments that you want to share with other students. Another area that I wanted to mention is the file repository area. These are important templates. So right at the beginning of your program, we recommend that you go right at the bottom here and you download and print all of the documents that are in this area. So you'll be able to see only 3, and then you have to click on this arrow to go to the next page and to the next, and you want to make sure to print all of those, however many your instructor puts in there for you. Those you'll need for several of the units in order to complete your program. Your observations. Of course, you'll need at least 2 observations. You will have to have an observations with different age groups. because of the pandemic, for some students and in some cases, you will be allowed to have an eyewitness testimony instead of an observation. That means that a previous supervisor or a current supervisor is actually signing off that they've seen you do something at that, so because it's difficult sometimes for assessors to come into the childcare. However, if you are taking this course and this time has passed, hopefully, and things are back to a somewhat of a normal, then you will have 2 observations. This is the sample of what the certificate will look like. Keep the end in mind. You will get there soon, I promise. I also want to remind you that once you're done with the Cash Level 3 program, you are able to also apply for the CDA license. This is the license to practice. So this is like an examination and an assessment that you sit, and it's like a license to practice, a credential that expires every 3 years. We do recommend like an extra feather in your cap if you do want to try and apply for the CDA credential once you're done with the Cash Level 3 program. It's a really wonderful experience to go through. Thank you, and I wish you good luck. Now you can move on to the next section.